Welcome back to another video, guys. I'm Paul the Tech Giant, and today we're unboxing another e-bike. And we've covered a few e-bikes on this channel, but today's e-bike is this Eskute Wayfarer. Now, we have tried out a few various styles of e-bikes on the channel, but we've never had one like this before. And it does say it's sports and outdoors, but I would say it's more of a commuter style bike with a sort of frame that's easy to step on and off. So what we're going to do in this video, we're going to get it unboxed, we're going to take a look at all the supplied accessories, we're going to get the bike set up, going to run through some of these specs, and then we will take it out for a test ride. But if you're not interested in all the setup type stuff, what I'll do, I'll put a timestamp where you can just jump straight to the test ride. Right, let's get this unboxing underway then, and cut those straps off and get this bad boy unpacked. We have this semi-squashed box, which I'm guessing is all the accessories. So as you can see, plenty of protection on the bike. So I think the first thing that we need to do is get all this removed. Well, as you would have seen, very well protected indeed, this bike. Downside is it will take you sort of 5 to 10 minutes to rip all that protective wrapping off. So I think the next thing that we need to do is take a look at the supplied accessories. Right, so first starting off then, you may have seen that this was actually attached to the bike. So that is to put the front wheel on. So very important that you don't lose that. So first off then, it's like we've got a kickstand there that will have to be attached. A set of pedals. Then as far as I know, that this is the throttle that you can add if you wish. Then feels like tools to me. Yep, sure enough. Now I do like it when bikes come with tools. Not all bikes do. So yeah, we've got a few different spanners there. A shorter grip there. I think that's if you put on that throttle there, and looks like some instructions as well. And then finally, nice big charging brick there and lead with UK plug. Now it's time to assemble the bike, and according to the instruction manual, the first thing that we need to do is to fit the handlebars, and we're going to be using this Allen key. So what we're going to do is just loosen off these 4 bolts here, take off that, and then simply attach the handlebar onto there. Now that we've got the handlebar attached, what I've done, I've not done it up too tight because we will nip that up once we've got the front wheel on. And that's what we've got to do next. We've got to remove this shipping bolt just there and install the front wheel. And to undo this shipping bolt, you are going to require the 17mm spanner. Now, to make things easier putting on the pedals and the last few accessories, what we're going to do is just to fit the kickstand. Now, we've got a couple of holes just here at the rear of the bike. What we're going to do is remove these 2 bolts, put that around the back there, and then screw the bolts through and tighten it up. Next, we're going to install the pedals, and for those who are not in the know, there is a left and a right pedal, and it will be indicated which one is which just there on each pedal. So make sure that you do put them on the correct way on the bike. Right, next we've got to install the front light and the mudguard. Now in the instructions, it doesn't mention about how you fit the mudguard, but what we need to do is remove this one screw at the front, and basically that light is going to be attached on there, and this part of the mudguard as well will be attached. And then you've got these metal wires, and each of those there will attach to a bolt on, if we can see it, just there and around there, which we need to take out and then tighten up when we've attached the wires. Now this next part is optional, and the company like to say that this is a freebie, and that is the throttle. And the throttle is there to be used if you want to go all electric, so no pedaling required. You literally just use that like a motorbike throttle and off you go. But because of the different rules and regulations around the world, it is entirely up to you if you want to go and fit it. So we've got the throttle, we've got this plastic piece there, and a shorter rubber grip. Now what we need to do is remove the original grip. And what I've also done is I've gone ahead and undone these, loosened them off so these can move down. We then attach the throttle like that. We will then connect up those two cables. So we've got one end there and then that one. We slip over this plastic ring like so, and then the shorter grip, and then we will tighten it all up. Right, that's the bike fully built now, everything all nice and tightened up. And it's actually the following day where we're going to run through some of the specs and key features of this bike. And it has got some very good features indeed. Now, price of this bike comes in at just under £1,000 here in the UK. And I believe I will have a discount code as well. We'll talk about that at the end of the video. So starting off then, I've got a whole list of things to talk about. So around the front of the bike then, we have got disc brakes there. Obviously that is front and rear as well. Then we have the suspension at the front. Being totally honest, it's not going to be the best suspension in the world, especially not at this sort of price bracket. But let's be honest, you're not going to be smashing up and down boulders with this sort of bike. Realistically, the most off-roading you're going to be doing is dropping down off the pavement. Moving on from that, we also have a headlight, which we have a button for just here. So if we flick that, there we go, we've got that headlight just there, and also a rear light, which is great for those safety conscious of you out there. And obviously that is all powered by the integrated battery. Now, moving on to the battery, as you can see, it is actually built in. Might be hard to see unless you get up close where you can see it just there. And in my back pocket, I do actually have some keys. If we pop the key in there, give it a turn like that, we can actually lift this battery up and out, which means it is great when it comes to a security point of view. It means, if you park it up somewhere or whatever, you can actually remove that, and it means that you can remove the battery to charge it. So maybe if you live in a block of flats or something like that, you've got your bike downstairs, means you haven't got to take it all the way up a big flight of steps to just actually charge that battery. So we've got a little charging port at the side just there, as we can see, and a battery level indicator. If I hold that down. Now there is one little issue, and I'll just show you that right now. So if I come round here, let's go put this, let's take those keys out actually, and put this battery back in. Nice and easy to slip in and out, and to lock it back in place, simply push down. But generally, when you're checking the battery, you will sort of put your thumb on it like that, but then your thumb is blocking the view. So yeah, it would have been nice if they actually put that readout a bit further down than the button. Now, because of that battery and this being an e-bike, means it's not going to be very light, and it does come in at quite a weighty 25 kilos, but it can take a maximum payload of 120 kilos. Now, the range that you can get from this bike with that battery is up to 40 miles. Now, just please bear in mind, that is going to be best case scenario, and that is on the assistance mode. But if you was to use the throttle, so the all electric mode, that is up to 22 miles. Next up, and probably no surprise, we have a quick release seat. Obviously great for security purposes and just quick adjustability. Moving on from that, we have the, well, luggage rack at the back here with like this spring-loaded clamp, so you can put your bags in there and things like that, you shop in, and clamp that down. Then we move on to what is going to be propelling you along, and that is the rear hub 250 watt Bafang motor. And if any of you guys are into your e-bike motors, you'll probably know that Bafang is well respected. So yeah, fair play, not a bad motor at all at this price point. Now, if we move up to the cockpit area, we can get a look at the Shimano gear selector just there. Now, it's the same one that was on a bike that we previously tested, and if it performs as well as it did on that bike, that is, more than adequate. And as you can see, we have 7 gears in total. Moving along from that, we have the throttle that we just installed. So simply just twist that back, nice and easy to do. Moving over to the left, and we have our display and a couple of buttons. So we've got that button just there for the lights. Now, one thing I just want to point out is that I'm not overly keen on the throw of that light. It's a bit too concentrated for my liking, and I will also be totally honest with you, I do feel that the rear light isn't the brightest out there. It could be a bit brighter, but still I'd rather have some lights than none. And we do have another button just to the left of that, and if we press that, we get a really annoying horn. And there is another little fault. I say a fault, it's nitpicking, but still, as far as we're concerned, that horn is upside down. Shouldn't it be the other way around, handle on the bottom? But there you go, only just a small little thing, but I want to point out any little issues that I do find. Now moving on to the display, and nice and big, and if I just hold down that power button, that fires into life, and you know, you might think, well, it could be a bit dark. Well, if we hold down the plus button, it does actually illuminate, and we do have different levels of assistance just there, which we can flick through, which we will test out when we go outside, and I'll show you another little secret mode that I also found. Right, let's just take a look at the overall design of the bikes and a couple of little negatives that I've found, as well as that upside down little horn. So overall, I don't think it's a bad looking bike. If I'm being totally honest, I would bin off the front and rear mudguards and this granny basket on the back. But yeah, if you're the sort of person who ain't got very long legs, or you just struggle to get onto a bike, this type of frame, you know, is right up your street. Let's push that back like that. So yeah, nice, easy to step on and off like that. As you can see, we got a nice matte finish to it, which does look very nice indeed. I do like that and like the feel of it as well. But there is a downside, and that is, I don't know if you could pick that up, it does tend to pick up sort of greasy sort of finger marks on it, so it might not look so fresh all the time when you know, if you're picking the bike up and things like that. Not a massive downside, but still something just to be aware of there. And another downside as well, don't know how well you're going to pick up this, but that light there is a little on the skew width. Probably if you look down from over the top of it, sort of thing, that you can see it's actually on the angle. Probably give that a good bend round, straighten out the metal, but you know, again, want to highlight that. And with the shipping bolt that came through the front there, someone had clearly done up a little bit too tight, probably won't sit now, but there was a couple of small chips on the paint. Right, we've now come outside because it is time for the test ride. So if you come in a little bit closer, what we're going to do is turn on the power, and I'm going to start off on level 1. So let's go. Straight away I can feel that assistance. Let's move that camera up a little bit there. So yeah, just on level 1, and I'll tell you what, the light is dropping a little bit here, so what I'm going to do is just turn on the backlight. There we go, for the display. Let's knock it up to level 2 now. Feels nice the way it comes in, quite a smooth delivery for a rear hub motor. And let's go through some of these gears. Nice smooth changes there. Let's go back down. Don't know if you can hear that or not, it's not clunking or anything like that. And we've got a speed readout going on there. So let's knock it up to level 3. More power there coming in. I'm having to pedal a lot less. Let's slow it up a bit and go from a standing start. There we go. That is really effortless. Got through those gears. Yeah, it's not sounding like rattly or crashy at all, and I'm not a light person by far, so it seems to be coping well with that suspension there on the front. Let's go down here, a bit of a bump, see how it feels. Yeah, not bad at all for a cheap fork. Obviously it could be better, but for this sort of setup, it's perfectly acceptable. So let's just stop a second and turn it up to level 5. So that is the maximum assistance level just there. And let's see how well that pulls off. Yeah, a lot more go there. Wow, I'm hardly having a pedal at all there. We are flying along right up to the max speed, and if I go even harder I can push through that speed limit there of the assistance. And I'll tell you what, I take it back, there is one little rattle that I can hear, and I believe it's actually coming from that little plastic cover on there. I don't know if you can hear that. So yeah, a slight rattle going on with that. Now next up, what we're going to do is actually turn the level all the way down to 0, and we're going to use just the throttle. So I'm just going to push off and not pedal. Let's pull that throttle back. There we go. As you can see, I am not pedaling at all, and it's not the most rapid of pickups, but we are getting up to top speed now. Again, you know, I'm quite a heavyweight. There we go, 25 kilometers per hour. Spinning the bike around, and I'm going to get back up to 25 kilometers per hour. We're going to try out the brakes. Just bear in mind that these haven't been bedded in. This is, you know, from brand new. So let's hit the brakes hard. And being totally honest, probably not the best brakes I've ever tested, but like I said, that could be down to the fact that they're not bedded in. But they're not the sharpest, if I'm being totally honest. But again, please bear in mind that I am quite heavy. So just looking at the display then, so we have our battery level indicator just there. Like I said, we've got the speed, so we've got the odometer and whatnot. Let's now turn on the light, and not going to really see it that well at the moment, and let's do a horn check. So yeah, slightly embarrassing there, but again, better than shouting out to people, I suppose, and people are definitely going to hear that. And for the final test, what I'm going to do, I'm going to power off everything and just use this as a conventional pedal bike. And you can actually still have the lights on or off if you wish, so no need to have the display on and the motor powered on for those lights to work. And yeah, easy enough going along, and just feels like a normal pedal bike. Now it is time for Mrs. Tech Giant to have a go, and very first time riding this, isn't it? Yeah. So go on then, off your trot. As you can see, got the lights on, as the light has dropped quite a bit, even though it doesn't really come across well on camera. So we'll see exactly what she thinks of it. And I believe that is her coming back. And I'll tell you what, I'll take it back about that light. That looks pretty bright, to be fair. Look at that. I mean, you know, we've got a street light there, and then that's the bike. Looks brighter than the street light. Just saying, that light looks really bright, to be fair. Bright. The rear one, not so good. That is pretty dim. How's that? Quite good. Quite good. It's not the most powerful of pickups, but you know, it's more than good enough.
Oh, it's what you need it for, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Now there is one mode that I promised to show you, and that is like a little bit of a hidden mode, and that's the walk-in feature. So if you just come on over here, so we've got our plus and minus buttons just there, and if I actually hold down on the minus button, the bike is actually going to power itself along. So if you move back, I'll just show you this. So if I hold that down like that, there we go. And now the bike is walking itself along, which could be great if you are maybe going up a steep hill. Right, back home now then, and well, I think that's about it. We've taken it out for the test ride, we've set it up, I've showed you the pros and the cons, all those little niggles and things like that. And what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to put a couple of links in the description. So to be totally honest with you guys, I have got an affiliate link. So if you was to purchase this bike through that affiliate link, I will get a few pounds in my pocket. But as a bonus to you as well, I've got a code that you'll get 5% off. So it's a win for me and a win for you. Now, don't worry, that affiliate link has not influenced me whatsoever when it comes to my thoughts on this bike. As I said, I've given you the pros and the cons. And, you know, I'm not putting a gun to anyone's head. You don't have to buy this bike whatsoever. You can even go and buy it elsewhere if you so wish. But, you know, I'm going to chuck in that link and that code if you do want to use it. Now, if you have got any questions about the bike, come on through and I'll do my very best to answer them. But like I said, I think I've covered pretty much everything on this bike that I can do. And, you know, I've given you a decent tour around it. Now, if you have enjoyed today's video, please spare me 1 second of your time to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. So thanks very much for joining me today, and hopefully I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye for now.